Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In the middle of a war that refuses to slow down despite US President Donald Trump's claims of a 5-day pause, Donald Trump today dialed Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Prime Minister called it a useful exchange on the West Asia crisis and made India's position clear that it supports de-escalation and an early restoration of peace. The Prime Minister also stressed that the Strait of Hormuz must remain open, secure and accessible, pretty much reiterating what he had underlined in the Rajya Sabha earlier today.
युद्ध के बाद से ही हॉर्मुज स्ट्रेट में जहाजों का आना जाना बहुत चुनौतीपूर्ण हो गया है, लेकिन विपरीत परिस्थितियों के बावजूद हमारी सरकार ने संवाद से, कूटनीति के माध्यम से रास्ते बनाने का प्रयास किया है। प्रयास ये है कि जहां से भी संभव हो वहां से तेल और गैस की सप्लाई भारत पहुंचे। सभापति जी, भारत का प्रयास है कि तेल हो, गैस हो, फर्टिलाइजर हो, ऐसे हर जरूरी सामान से जुड़े जहाज भारत तक सुरक्षित पहुंचे।
This call from President Trump to the Prime Minister comes as India and US are stepping up their defense talks. Yesterday, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar spoke with the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and Trump's Undersecretary of War for Policy is currently visiting India. Speaking at an event, Elbert Colby made it clear that United States sees India not merely as a key partner, but as an essential one.
The United States sees India not merely as a key partner, but as an essential one in ensuring a long-term favorable balance of power in Asia.
ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण एक चर्चा है हमारे प्रधानमंत्री और राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप के बीच में। आपको पता है कि मोदी जी का सभी लीडर्स जिनके देश इस पश्चिम एशियाई युद्ध के साथ संबंध है, एक बार नहीं पर 2 बार इनकी बात हुई है।
Colby is the principal advisor to the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, on defense and foreign policy. So one can understand the significance of his statement and contextualize Donald Trump's call to the Prime Minister. But the Congress party still refuses to accept the truth. Manikam Tagore says he doesn't trust Indian Prime Minister's version of the conversation and would rather wait for what Trump has to say.
We all know that Prime Minister's tweet we had seen it. Tomorrow, what Trump will say about the tweet is going to be the main question. What Trump told to our Prime Minister is the question now, because Prime Minister can say some other story and Trump will say some other story.
So who does Congress really trust? They trust Pakistan. Just 4 minutes after Prime Minister Modi's post about his talks with Trump came a post from Pakistan Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif. He offered, and I quote, subject to concurrence by the US and Iran, Pakistan stands ready and honored to be the host to facilitate meaningful and conclusive talks for a comprehensive settlement of the ongoing conflict. And I repeat, verbatim, so that there is no scope for misinterpretation. It is just an offer, subject to concurrence of both sides, Iran and the United States. But this is enough for the Congress party to call it a giant snub to Indian diplomacy, based on source-based reports that Turkey, Egypt and Pakistan may be involved in the mediation efforts. Congress has already concluded that it amounted to a rebuff to Vishwaguru.
सोचना चाहिए कि हम कहते थे हम विश्वगुरु हैं, हम कहते थे कि हम ही सब पीस मेकर हैं, चाहे यूक्रेन का जंग हो, और हम आज ये स्थिति है।
Our ambition was to overtake China. Here, Pakistan has overtaken us. It's an absolutely unfortunate situation to be in.
एक शर्मनाक दिन है हमारे लिए। एक आतंकवाद को पालने वाला पाकिस्तान, एक कमजोर आर्थिक और सामाजिक रूप से पाकिस्तान नेतृत्व की भूमिका निभाएगा और हमारे ये विश्व गुरु मोदी जी वो निहारेंगे, देखेंगे।
मीडिया के अंदर रिपोर्ट्स आ रही हैं कि पाकिस्तान मध्यस्थता करा रहा है, जो आतंकवाद को पनाहगार हो, आतंकवाद का पोषक देश हो, वो मध्यस्थता करा रहा है और हम गायब हैं।
We have seen what Congress says from time to time and who they support. Congress always support Pakistan and their ideology, and Pakistan in return support Congress ideology and Congress leaders.
Congress may try to mock Modi Sarkar by using terror-sponsor Pakistan as ammunition, but the truth is, in Congress's own words, in this big boy conversation, India very much has a place at the table, while Pakistan is groveling to find its place. And yet, leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi thinks that India's foreign policy is being considered a universal joke. A joke in a war?
हमारी जो फॉरेन पॉलिसी है, दिस इज प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदीज पर्सनल फॉरेन पॉलिसी. यू कैन सी द रिजल्ट ऑफ दिस. इट्स अ यूनिवर्सल जोक. एवरीबडी कंसिडर्स इट अ यूनिवर्सल जोक. Donald Trump knows exactly what Mr. Modi can do and what Mr. Modi cannot do. So, if the Prime Minister is compromised, our foreign policy is compromised. इंडिया का प्राइम मिनिस्टर है, इंडिया के प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैं, दिखना चाहिए कि हिंदुस्तान के प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैं. पोजीशन क्या है? कोई पोजीशन ही नहीं है.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the Motorola legitimate question on the News Hour tonight. Has President Trump's call to Prime Minister Modi torpedoed Congress's India snubbed bogey? That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate on the News Hour tonight, Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, scientist, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, senior fellow at the IPCS, Faizan Kidwai, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Vivek Srivastava, political analyst, Somnath Bharti, former law minister in the Kejriwal government in Delhi, senior leader of the Aam Aadmi Party. But my first question goes to Sanjay Jha, Congress leader. And Sanjay Jha, how much of Congress, how much of India will the Congress continue to bash? I just want to know, when is it that the Congress will say enough is enough? There are reports, and I'm holding the tweet that was put out by Shahbaz Sharif, who's saying we will try and do this if both sides agree. But the Congress decided in the morning that Pakistan was in business holding this reconciliation talks between the US and Iran. By evening, when President Trump called and spoke with Prime Minister Modi, suddenly the Congress is seen looking for answers. I want to ask you, India has lost out. India is not at the high table. India is doing badly. The Prime Minister's compromised. Where will you stop, Sanjay Jha? As an opposition, where will you stop?
Navika, good evening to you and to all my fellow panelists on the program. Let this be made very clear at the very beginning. Narendra Modi or the BJP are not India. They are at the moment in government, and their job is to protect the interest of India, in which they have failed disastrously. Let me just make 4 quick bullet points. Number 1, if it is the height of BJP's political desperation, if a call from Donald Trump to Modi is apparently getting them to be so thrilled and excited. I mean, this has to be the most mammoth embarrassment if this is the desperate state of the BJP today. Number 2, this is an illegal war, unauthorized war, triggered by Netanyahu, supported by Trump, which India has aligned to. Narendra Modi, as the Prime Minister of this country, aligned to supporting the axis of US and Israel, 2 of the most discredited nations in the world today, in an illegal war. India is on the wrong side. If you ask me, Navika, in all fairness, 140 crore people in this country are suffering or will suffer on account of the economy or the LPG or oil prices or unemployment, fertilizer prices, rural distress, whatever will follow because of Mr. Modi's singular decision to back Israel against Iran. We did not play the role of strategic autonomy. And let me give you two examples, and I'm giving you examples from America, a country that, like every country, cares for its own interest. I have been reading all the people who are commentators there, respected people, defense, political analysts, and so on. Americans today overall are saying that the war against Iran is even more of a disaster than George Bush's invasion of Iraq under the false assumption of weapons of mass destruction under Saddam Hussein, which was, by the way, a war crime. They believe that this is even more horrific and disastrous a decision taken by Trump.
Give me one statement where the Prime Minister or the Modi Sarkar has supported this war. Please give me one statement today on the news hour before you go on bad-mouthing India for taking a position.
Okay, let me answer.
Yes.
Let me answer that, Navika. I'm very glad you asked me that question because I was going to come to it. I will answer it, but just to let you know, since we quote a lot of experts, Jeffrey Sachs yesterday said India should stop trying to be a vassal state of America. Now, let me answer your question. Tell me, Navika, you tell me, you're a seasoned veteran journalist. You and I have debated over the last 20 years, I guess. Here is my question. Were you not surprised yourself that Prime Minister Modi did not even offer condolences for almost 12 days on the political assassination of Ayatollah Khamenei? Were you not surprised that we actually supported a UN resolution which basically condemned Iran for self-defense?
You know, Sanjay Jha, 12 days is an exaggeration, and in that sense, you're not a Jha, you're a Punjabi, because I've only seen Punjabis exaggerating to the extent that you are.
What is it?
400%. 400% exaggeration. 3 days. Yes, it was 3 days late, but not 12 days. So let me correct you there. Having said that, you believe Jeffrey Sachs on a Tuesday. You don't believe Shashi Tharoor, who you say is your friend, and Manish Tiwari, who's your friend. You know, Sanjay Jha, you know, more loyal than the king. Great. If that's the role you have assumed, great for you. But Pradeep Bhandari, on how many facts will you fact check Sanjay Jha tonight?
Has the the death of no.
Sanjay Jha, you've had a long time and a long opening speech. Hold on.
I'm checking you here.
No, you can't correct me. You can't correct me because I checked my facts. You were the one wrong, exaggerating 3 days to 12 days. Thoda sa research karo, coming back to you, Pradeep Bhandari.
Vikram Misri is not the Prime Minister. Vikram Misri is not the Prime Minister of India. By the way, he happens to be a friend of mine anyway.
I don't need a list of your friends in Lutyens, Delhi, Sanjay Jha. That really doesn't impress me. But at the moment, all I want to say is when Vikram Misri as the Foreign Secretary goes, he represents the government of India, a fact I'm sure you know, but choose to ignore at this point. And if I may now go across to Pradeep Bhandari. Pradeep Bhandari, please respond.
Well, Navika ji, the fact is that the Congress party has yet again itself exposed as a B team of Pakistan. Because please note that my voice is echoing in my ear. If you can ask the team to fix it, please.
Yes, done.
Thank you. Well, Navika ji, let me just begin by stating that the Congress party has apologized publicly and it has in fact deleted tweets. Pawan Khera was claiming that India had to pay for the tankers, LPG tankers which were moving through Strait of Hormuz. And in fact, he deleted his tweet. And today only the Ministry of External Affairs and the Special Secretary of Ministry of Shipping fact-checked him saying that India is not paying a single rupee, and you see Indian tankers moving through Strait of Hormuz. So if India was not strategically neutral, or if India was not taking care of India's interests, there are three parties in the war, which is United States of America, this is Israel, which is Iran, and all the three believe that it is India which can which can ensure that the war ends very quickly. In fact, what is surprising is that in the last 20 days, there are more than 80 lakh Indians which live in the GCC countries, and not once has the Congress party spoken about them. They have not even spoken about the concerns of the Indian living in Middle East, which tells you the side which the Congress party is taking. In fact, this is not for the first time, Navika ji. Recall when during Operation Sindoor, when the entire country was on the side of India, the Congress party was on the side of Pakistan, asking Hindustan ki kitne jahaz gire. So it's not for the first time that the Congress party jumped in order to bring Pakistan or defend Pakistan or act like the spokesperson of Pakistan. It very well knows that when the Congress was in power between 2004 and 2014, Pakistan was acting as an intermediary and a global dalal for a lot of countries, in particular Iran. At this moment, the fact is simple, that Sanjay Jha has been factored by Shashi Tharoor, because Shashi Tharoor in his tweet has also said that India has exercised strategic restraint, and in fact he praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government. It was not just Shashi Tharoor, in fact Manish Tiwari himself. So at this moment, what is Sanjay complaining? Is Sanjay complaining that internationally you see gasoline prices increasing? Gasoline prices increasing, and in the country you do not see a single rupee of petrol or diesel price increasing, except in the Congress-ruled state of Himachal Pradesh.
How much can
and I wonder
lie?
when the Congress increases, if the Congress increases the price in Himachal Pradesh, I wonder what Rahul Gandhi is allaying to, or whether Rahul Gandhi
no, they will not have. They will not have a
What
word to say about the hike in prices of petrol in Himachal Pradesh through a bill that is passed in the assembly there. That the Congress will keep quiet about. But I want to bring in Faizan Kidwai. And Faizan Kidwai, 6:14 p.m. tonight. 6:14 is when the US ambassador to India, Sergio Gore, puts out a post saying that President Trump has spoken to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Modi puts out his statement and tweet at 6:51 p.m. And at 6:55 p.m., Shahbaz Sharif says, happy to be mediating if both sides agree. Would you see this as Pakistan taking a crucial role at the high table, mediating between the two countries, or just offering to be part of the party if both sides agree, which is something we can say any morning when we wake up from our sleep and say, "Hare bhai, dono side manenge to hum bhi kar lete hain." This is picked up and stated by the Congress party as a huge victory of Pakistan. Are we cheerleaders for Pakistan, or are we Indians looking at how India is dealing with this very difficult war situation that exists? Are we really cheerleaders for Pakistan? Faizan Kidwai, is the Congress turning out to be that? Please see all the posts that Mr. Jairam Ramesh and company from the Congress party have put out today.
This is a Narendra surrender phase of Indian politics.
संजय झा, क्रिकेट कमेंट्री नहीं चल रही है यहाँ पे संजय झा, आपके बीच में कोई बोले तो यू फील वेरी ऑफेंडेड, एंड राइट नाउ यू आर गोइंग ऑन स्पीकिंग व्हेनेवर आई कॉल आउट अनदर पैनलिस्ट. इट्स नॉट फेयर, इट्स नॉट कर्टियस संजय झा, इट्स नॉट फेयर टू द अदर्स. संजय झा, इट्स जस्ट नॉट कर्टियस, एंड आप तो ऐसे ना थे. फैजान किदवाई,
राहुल गांधी की कंपनी में ऐसे ही हो जाता.
Okay, good evening to you, Navika. Good evening to you and to the fellow panelists. See, Navika, you sometime back you accused Mr. Jha of exaggerating. I mean, you shouldn't do that when Pradeep is sitting here, because his boss is known to exaggerate and indulge into fakery and propaganda. So Pradeep ke samne mat kari, he'll feel embarrassed. He's a good friend of mine. Okay, Pradeep, no, Pradeep, I didn't, no, Pradeep, no, you speak at your own time, buddy, don't get worked up.
Don't get provoked, Pradeep. Don't get provoked, Pradeep. He's just doing this to provoke you. Hold on, I'll give you an opportunity. Let him make his point.
I can back this claim by data also. Acha, khair. So, Navika, you're saying Congress is becoming a cheerleader for Pakistan? No, Navika. When India was suffering with the energy crisis, lack of LPG and rising prices, a certain section of media, instead of questioning the government, they were telling the audience, to the citizens of India, look, the prices of petrol in Pakistan itna ho gaya hai. So who's obsessed with Pakistan? Certainly not the opposition, certainly not Samajwadi, certainly not Congress. It is more Bharatiya Janata Party. Pakistan features in every discussion and a certain section of media. So hame accuse mat kariye, hum us chakkar mein nahi padte hain. As far as, see, Navika, our Honorable Prime Minister, when he spoke in the Parliament, I thought, and we all, the citizens also might be thinking, that there'll be some concrete roadmap that the Prime Minister will discuss and give to the citizens of this country. But unfortunately, just like Mr. Jay Shankar, who gave a suo motu statement, Mr. Modi also delivered a monologue, which was just rhetorical. The master of fakery and propaganda, somebody who has compromised on India's strategic autonomy and dignity by bending over in front of Trump on several occasions, was lecturing the opposition about what its duties are. We all remember in 2008 when Mumbai attacks were going on, it was this Prime Minister who was the Chief Minister at that time. Outside Trident Hotel, he conducted a press conference. BJP published newspapers accusing UPA about its failures. Was that being an anti-national, or that move would be considered nationalism? When a war was happening within the country, these people, instead of supporting the government, they were accusing the government for political benefits. In 2013, when India faced its worst economic slowdown, Smriti Irani and several members of Bharatiya Janata Party were on the roads with the cylinders on their head. All of them have vanished today. Unfortunately, in Navika, you see this gentleman
But Faizan Kidwai, is it a fact or not? Is it a fact or not that India has been able to get 4 ships already? In fact, 5 of them to Indian shores. Is it a fact or not? And I can play out the bite if you want. At least 6 other ships are going to come in the next 3 or 4 days. Tough situation, maneuvering done. The government is making a case for normalizing the situation. They have managed it well. Well, there was a cap on 6 cylinders annually in September of 2013 by the UPA government when there was no war. So Faizan Kidwai, nobody is saying that this is a walk in the park. There is a war situation, but somehow nobody in the opposition seems to be looking at the facts as they are, looking at the breakthroughs as and when they come in, but they are sitting here as cheerleaders of Pakistan. Am I wrong, Anand Ranganathan? Am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Good evening, Navika, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Navika, at the outset, let me say that there are 3 rational panelists against 4 irrational ones, so please give us adequate time. When you gently castigated your very dear and my very dear friend Sanjay Jha by saying, "Aap to aise na the," I can explain, ye change kaise ho gaye? Because hatred for Modi sooner or later transmogrifies into hatred for India.
Modi is not India, boss. Tum log pagal ho gaye.
I did not interrupt you. This is the 4th time you're interrupting. Yeah, please. Thank you. Go ahead. When you said, and I'm not being personal at all, I'm picking apart your points, if I may be allowed to do so. When my good friend Sanjay says that what happened, the invasion of Iraq, it was a war crime, he does not explain that our Prime Minister, the Congress Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, called the war criminal. And I quote him now, "Mr. Bush, President of America, the entire India loves you. सिर्फ मैं ही प्यार नहीं करता, पूरा देश आपसे प्यार करता है, भले आप वॉर क्रिमिनल हो." And when Sanjay Jha says that we have echoed somebody, I don't know, God knows who says. Navika, भाई देखो ऐसे नहीं, संजय आप ऐसे नहीं थे यार. Honestly, you weren't like.
बदल गए, कुंभ के मेले में बदल गए हैं. Exchange हो गए.
दूसरे संजय तो नहीं, but I know his identical twin, वो तो बिल्कुल ऐसे नहीं है. तो ये क्या हो गया मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा. But please bear with me, मेरा time is very precious. Now, when you say, echo somebody who says that India has become a vassal state, you are quite right. Because after all, it is a vassal state that despite 25% tariffs that are eating our economy alive, finances alive, we continue week upon week, month upon month to buy 1 million barrels per day and above of Russian oil. That is what vassal states do. That is what vassal states do. That we are talking not just to America and Israel, every day. In fact, just 2 minutes ago, ANI has tweeted that our foreign minister just met with the Iranian counterpart. This is the archetypal odd day, even day. Odd day we talk to one adversary, the Trump and the Bibi Netanyahu camp, and on even days we talk to the Iranians and others. What is wrong with that? We are trying to balance our interests. Our interests are paramount. So please stand up with Modi. If you can't, I'm not asking you to do that, but stand up with India.
That's the point. And I want to ask our friend and senior leader of the Aam Aadmi Party, Somnath Bharti ji, who's normally very reasonable. Somnath Bharti ji, I just want to ask you, there is literally in the world, people are actually facing huge shortages of various kinds of petroleum products. India so far has managed reasonably well. Is it absolutely normal? Certainly not. The government today has given figures that 13th of March, due to panic, there were 89 lakh bookings per day of LPG cylinders. Today, it is back to pre-war days of 55 lakh bookings, which was the pre-war situation, which means the panic has gone away. Ships have come in, 6 more ships are coming, alternate routes of fuel supply have been tied up. We're talking to both sides. We are requesting de-escalation in a war that is not of our making. What else can a country do? But on the other side, please look at the Congress party. हिमाचल में 5 रुपए बढ़ा दिया, उफ तक नहीं करी आपने अब तक. सोमनाथ भारती जी, आपकी पार्टी ने कुछ नहीं कहा. अगर ये बीजेपी स्टेट में होता तो आपने त्राही त्राही कर देनी थी. लेकिन they have increased the price. They are talking about Pakistan becoming a Vishwa Guru. Nothing at all. And I have just read out to you the Pakistan Prime Minister on the actual situation as far as mediation is concerned. Who is lying here and who is working against the interests of the country? Can you please tell our viewers tonight?
Navika ji, thank you that you allowed me to speak finally. See, India needs roughly 5.5 million barrels of oil a day, 80 to 85,000 tons of LPG a day, around 180 to 200 million metric standard cubic meters per day of natural gas. Now, you were talking about 2 ships have come, 5 ships have come. They haven't 2 ships, when we got Shivalik and Nanda Devi, it was to fulfill 1 day requirement of India. And then, because we do have ecosystem built by BJP to sing songs around them and do not let them, be shown in poor light. So, today, when the Prime Minister spoke in the Rajya Sabha, he himself said, we are not saying, it's not opposition who's saying, he said it's corona-like situation. So we need to be ready. So who is creating panic? And the माननीय प्रधानमंत्री ने जो कहा कि भाई 53 लाख metric ton हमारा reserve है. So what was that? That will hardly fulfill 9.5 day requirements as per Hindustan Times of the nation. So, and then it is too late, too little. After 24 days of this crisis, Manniya Modi ji has come out and said what? No strategy. How will the country deal with this? Problem is, there are, sort of ecosystem built by BJP and Manniya Modi ji in media. People are there in film industry to make Dhurandhar 2. People are there. In fact, today there was a Baba saying कि भैया अरे LPG पे रोटी बनाओगे स्वास्थ्य के लिए हानिकारक है. एक बाबा, there is video on Twitter. He's saying कि चलो वापस सतयुग में जब वो मिट्टी में बनाते थे खाना. Can you imagine this ecosystem? Fortunately, there are among that ecosystem also there are people like Swami Ramdev who has come out and categorically has criticized Mr. Modi for buying oil before Mr. Trump and sort of risking India's sovereignty. So today everybody is seeing who is creating panic. And you're talking about that there is an all-party meeting. Do we recall that when the all-party meeting was convened during Operation Sindoor, what did Mr. Modi prioritize? He prioritized one election rally in Bihar. He skipped the all-party meeting.
Well, Rahul Gandhi is doing the same. He is not attending the all-party meeting. You know, how important is the all-party meeting for the opposition is demonstrated by Rahul Gandhi as well. But I want to ask you, you said BJP, you know, and its ecosystem. Is Elbridge Colby, the US Under Secretary of War for Policy, is he the BJP's ecosystem? Or Iran, which tweeted yesterday and said that it will never forget India's humanitarian aid to Iran, are they part of the BJP's ecosystem? Abhijit Iyer Mitra, ye facts पर इतना सारा इकोसिस्टम का जो पूरा चल रहा है, ये कर कैसे लेते हैं? Why are facts so difficult for them to digest? ऊपर से धुरंधर 2 हर बात में आ जाती है. चोट कितनी खाएंगे? वॉर के मिसाइल से तो कम चोट लग रही है, धुरंधर 2 की चोट भी बाहर निकल रही है.
How much time do I have, Navika? Say 2-3 minutes? 3 minutes? Will you give me?
No, 3 is too much. 1.5 is better.
I just request you mute everybody else because I don't want to get interrupted. Okay. First, let's deal with Pakistan's role. I think people need to understand the difference between hotel ka malik and hotel ka waiter, between a negotiator and between an event manager. Pakistan is like Norway, they are event managers. The Norwegians have tried diplomacy in Sri Lanka and in Palestine, they failed spectacularly. You know why? Because negotiation actually takes, you know, both parties to be dependent on you, for you to have leverage on both parties, and for you to have a deep understanding of both parties. This was something that the Congress does not understand now, and they did not understand even in Nehru's period, or in Rajiv Gandhi's period, or in Indira Gandhi's period. Let me give you a factual recounting of the list of disasters they had. 1948, Nehru comes up with a Palestine partition plan. The only thing historically the Israelis and Palestinians have ever agreed to is that the Indian plan was rotten. 1952, they came up with the Korea peace plan. Mr. Nehru himself came up with it and sent a whole delegation for it. Let me quote Syngman Rhee, the president of South Korea, on what he said. We do not regard India as neutral. We regard Indian Premier Nehru more as a friend of communism than democracy. He must be branded a communist. He hated the Indians. Now, multi-generational. 1956, Krishna Menon, when he was asked about the Soviet invasion of Hungary, he blames not the Soviet Union, but he blames imperialism and votes to support the Soviet invasion of Hungary. 1962, we saw that it was the peak of diplomatic performance by Chacha Nehru. We saw exactly what happened to our troops, both his military preparedness and his diplomacy. 1971, they are so proud of 1971. 90 countries voted against us in the UN General Assembly. 90 is to 15. 90 is to 15. And the US got together with China and sent their aircraft carrier against us. This is their peak diplomacy. 1987. Imagine
your peak detailing is sending them spinning. Your peak detailing, Abhijit.
Sorry, 1 second. 1987. The Tamils hated the Sinhalese and the Sinhalese hated the Tamils. But Rajiv Gandhi was such a diplomatic genius, he sent the IPKF, which for the first time united the Tamils and the Sinhalese. The Sinhalese gave the LTTE weapons to kill the Indians in the IPKF. This was the greatness of Rajiv Gandhi's great diplomacy. 2009, the Sharm el-Sheikh, Manmohan Singh goes to Sharm el-Sheikh to visit the Pakistanis and agrees Kashmir is disputed. He agrees Kashmir is disputed. Now, finally, I want to quote. Now they said, oh, well, this Manmohan Singh never said this. I am quoting from the George Bush Presidential Library, the transcripts of the meeting between Bush and Manmohan Singh. Prime Minister Singh, quote unquote, the people of India deeply love you, and all that you have done to bring our two countries closer to each other is something history will not be able to destroy. I am not saying this here, it is from the George Bush Presidential
Sanjay Jha, will you dispute this fact also? Will you dispute this source also?
Well,
Sanjay Jha.
Navika, listen, there are different contexts. I don't want to even respond to these comments.
When it comes to Manmohan Singh, context important hai. When it comes to Modi, there is no context that is important.
Because Mr. Mitra has been given substantial time. Let me respond. I think the Congress has called it out brilliantly. Sahib, Bibi or Gulam. बिल्कुल सही है. Trump, Modi and Netanyahu
2008 में कौन किसका गुलाम था जब न्यूक्लियर डील साइन करनी थी? ये तो विवेक श्रीवास्तव जी बता सकते हैं. विवेक श्रीवास्तव जी, your parties walked out of the UPA alliance at that time. You remember that? And your statement, the CPI CPM statement at that time was that the Congress party had become the gulam of the United States. Today they are saying Modi is the gulam.
Yeah,
you know,
is the deal.
Context is important everywhere, Vivek Srivastava.
Yes, we were against the deal. We were never opposing the credentials or the honesty of the Prime Minister. That is one difference. Over here, Mr. Abhijit Iyer Mitra was speaking right now. I mean, what he's saying is communism, socialism बुरा है, imperialism अच्छा है, Russia खराब था, America अच्छा है क्योंकि चाचा नेहरू रशिया के. I mean, the way the USSR has benefited this nation, and even today the legacy of the former KGB man Vladimir Putin, the way he is sharing the credentials within India, what does he know? अभिजीत अय्यर मित्रा साहब, ये जो अभी भी आप रूस के साथ दोस्ती रख रहे हैं, चाचा नेहरू की देन है, थोड़ा याद करो.
सर, ईरान के साथ भी रख रहे हैं. That is the point India is making. That India is keeping its friendship open with Iran, with the United States, with Israel, and with Russia, and with Ukraine. The fact that you are not able to appreciate.
Hold on. No, can I speak for 30 seconds? Yes. Now, secondly, Pakistan has outsmarted us, just like this outsmarted us after Operation Sindoor. That was the time when the field marshal was called by President Trump. That was the time when they got the money from the IMF. That was the time when the United Nations says anti-terrorist front ka chairman banayenge Pakistan ko. And today the same thing is going on. They are talking to Saudi Arabia. They are talking to Iran. They are talking to Trump. और हमारे वाले ने
China dictatorship.
let me at least speak. हमारे वाले ने कंडोलेंस तक नहीं दिया.
No, it's if you ask Vivek Srivastava, he will say China is the biggest democracy in the world.
Go and gone.
Is China a dictatorship, sir? Is China a dictatorship? Yes or no?
Yes. We are nothing but stooges of Donald Trump. What Donald Trump says,
that is not
we
the
follow.
Question.
We are
That's not the question, sir. That's not the question. Is China a dictatorship? Is Abhijit Iyer Mitra's question to you? Please answer that question.
Is China a dictatorship?
It's a communist country. Dictatorship of the proletariat. Let him read Marxism first. And if he doesn't read, it's not my problem.
Well, Anand Ranganathan, a communist country.
USSR was also
dictatorship पे जवाब नहीं है. And पाकिस्तान के गीत कितने गाए जरा सुन लीजिए. Well, Anand Ranganathan,
Minister of India not to go to China the next time.
Anand Ranganathan, please respond to Vivek Srivastava.
And don't import Chinese goods in future.
Navika, somebody mentioned
आगे से मंगाना मत चीन का सामान.
Ladies and gentlemen, you got 100 billion trade deficit with China
and
rising.
Earlier one person was interrupting me. Now two people are interrupting.
And by the way, Modi government has allowed FDI by the Chinese.
Absolutely. You have stopped loving India because you love Modi. Dr. Ranganathan, you have stopped loving India because you love Modi.
Is that the debate today? But please, Anand Ranganathan, I'm lowering all faders. Anand.
Thank you. Earlier only one person was interrupting. Now there are two. Are they reproducing or something? God forbid. We don't want more communists. But look, पहले किसी ने alluded to साई बीबी और गुलाम. अब ये चौधरी का चांद विवेक श्रीवास्तव कह रहे हैं कि China is not a dictatorship. China is a communist country. Well, he's right. Every communist country is a dictatorship, including Cuba, including what was Venezuela then. But the point that we are making right now is about America, about Israel, about India and about Iran. पर मैं यहाँ पे भी कहना चाहूंगा, आपने संजय झा को कहा आप तो ऐसे ना थे. नाविका, मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूँ, नाविका आप तो ऐसे ना थी. Since when have you started allowing peddling of fake news on your show? You had my good friend Somnath.
You want to hear facts? I'll show you facts. In 2008, after 26/11, what did US say? US urges India to hold back, Pakistan to crack down on. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice said that. Zardari advised India not to overreact on the Mumbai attack. Well, सोमनाथ भारती जी, ये स्टेटमेंट्स थे 2008 के. तो कांग्रेस क्या पाकिस्तान की सुन रही थी, यूएस की सुन रही थी, या इंडिपेंडेंट कंट्री थी जो आज सवाल पूछ रहे हैं?
आने वाला था। मैं सोमनाथ भारती जी कह रहा था फेक न्यूज स्प्रेड कर रहे हैं ये।
नाविका जी पहले तो मैं ये करेक्ट कर दूं, आपने कहा ईरान भारत को धन्यवाद कर रहा है, भारत के लोगों का धन्यवाद कर रहा है। ईरान इज नॉट थैंकिंग ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर मिस्टर मोदी. They are very particular in the words what they have chosen to thank. They're saying we are thanking people of India to stand by us when US and Israel they were killing 165 little school girls. They are, I mean, the kind of heinous crimes which they have, done on Irani people is unbelievable. And what is our preparation, Navika ji? To what extent you want to keep defending BJP government and Mr. Modi?
It's not my job, sir. It is the job of the Indian government to defend the people of India. Pradeep Bhandari, please respond to Somnath Bharti ji.
It is corona-like situation.
Allow me.
Companies
are
coming to you, Pradeep first. Anand and Abhijit, please tighten your seat belts. Coming to you, Pradeep first.
Navika ji, first of all, it's absolutely fake news spread by the Aam Aadmi Party leader on March 13, 2026. It was Iran's official stand which it thanked the government of India about standing with the Iranian people. It was not Iran saying that we thank the Indian people. So he's absolutely lying. Please check March 13, 2026, fake news number 1. Fake news number 2 is what the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson spread was that India has become a vessel state. Absolutely not. I will tell you what becoming a vessel state is. On November 8, 2010, and let me quote, this is the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. I welcome the President as a personal friend and a charismatic leader who has made a deep imprint on the world affairs through his inclusive vision of peace, security and welfare for all peoples and nations. Now imagine a situation that this is Prime Minister Manmohan Singh saying for then US President Barack Obama. Despite all of this, after 26/11, you had Sushil Kumar Sindhe who got endorsement from Hafiz Saeed and India did not attack Pakistan after 26/11. And Barack Obama, in his book Promised Land, said that India did not attack Pakistan because Manmohan Singh and the Congress government felt that it would lead to vote bank politics and the vote in the country will get affected. That is what is called as vote bank politics and compromising India's
absolutely, and add to that in 2013 when the US lauded India's efforts to reduce oil imports from Iran and hinted at a new waiver. Anand Ranganathan, 2013 का ये भूल गए, the waiver and the reduction in oil imports from Iran, and today they are giving lessons to the Modi Sarkar.
पहले तो because I know I might be interrupted, let me say that my good friend Somnath ji shamelessly peddled fake news. Narendra Modi never said that COVID-like situation आने वाली है. What he said was that I hope that people of India, including the opposition, will stand together with the government like they did in COVID. There is a difference, Somnath ji, and I expect you, such an erudite and educated person, to please.
So what does it mean? So what does it mean?
It means that when a country is faced with challenges, the people of the country stand united. That is what it means, but you don't. But you're not understanding that, Abhijit. I'm completely out of time. 30 seconds.
Look, it's very simple out here. They can't deal with the fact that Modi is managing this crisis better than all of them could. We are in the American good books, we are in the Iranian good books, we are in the Israeli good books. Nobody, unlike their collective rule, has any issues with us right now. They can't deal with it, so they will keep hurling muck. Let them hurl muck. I don't care how much muck they hurl. The point is, I've shown you with facts how India is doing much better now.
Faizan Kidwai doesn't agree. Faizan Kidwai, what is your objection, sir?
Madam, my only objection is that this king of fakery and king of propaganda, Mr. Narendra Modi, is constantly peddling fake news, and unfortunately it gets amplified by this ecosystem.
Which part is fake? No. Which part is fake? Is it fake that 5 ships have come with LPG? Is it fake that 6 more ships are coming? Is it fake that India has increased its LPG production by 40%? Is it fake that the domestic use of LPG has been increased? Which part is fake, ladies and gentlemen? We did a survey and we asked people of India, has Donald Trump's call to Prime Minister Modi torpedoed Congress's India snubbed bogey? Well, people of India understand this better than the opposition. 82% of them say yes. it has torpedoed the Congress bogie कि हाय Pakistan hero बन गया. Well, no say 11%, can't say 7%. Please, nobody is saying, and it is not my case, that India is in a very happy and comfortable position. Of course, there are challenges. The Prime Minister has stated those challenges. The fact is, in a bad situation, how best do you deal with the challenges that you have? The country is trying to do everything within its powers to do that. Would the opposition just give a helping hand, or would they be part of the ecosystem that spreads fake news and derides India while actually saying Pakistan is the winner in this war? I don't know. When I hear statements like these, I wonder, which side are you on? And that is what people of India are asking tonight. We leave it at that. Thank you very much to all my panelists joining me on debate number 1.